1 hour later.
Oh, hey, it's you again. Kind of weird. First I saw you in Italy, now I'm seeing you in Sydney, Australia. You following me? Well, since you're here, you haven't seen a baby, have you? You know, little human, kind of smells bad. Pretty cute though. No, sure she'll walk, right? I mean, it's a baby; they can't walk. Well, since you're here, anyways, you want to learn some math? Okay, so let's begin. Let's look at this cube. Now, in a perfect cube, every side has the same exact length, width, and height. And with it being a three-dimensional object, you need those three components to be able to solve for the surface area. So in this example, we're going to be using 6 inches. So this cube has a length, width, and height of 6 inches. I'm going to do my best to color in the different sides of the cube different colors and keep those colors the same throughout the video so that you guys know which side I'm referring to. So in order to get surface area, we need to first find the area of one side. So if we have 6 inches by 6 inches on the red side, then we can say 6 times 6 is 36, or the red side has an area of 36 inches. We're going to take this cube and we're going to flatten it out. This is called a net. A net is basically when you take any three-dimensional shape and you turn it into a two-dimensional shape with all the sides flattened out. So for example, if I were to fold this up into that cube that you saw in the previous part of the video, it would make that perfect cube. So we can look at this and realize that if the 6 inches by 6 inches on the red side is the measurements, then 6 by 6 is also going to be the measurements of the purple side. So again, 6 times 6 is 36. We can apply this to every other cube or every other square because each square is going to have the same exact shape as the red square. Another way to think about this is that there is a square that is 6 by 6, and that when I multiply 6 by 6, I get 36. Then I recognize that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry about that, 4, 5, and 6 other squares that have the same exact area as my first square. Therefore, if I take 36 and I multiply it by the 6 squares I have, I can get my answer. In both cases, you will get 216 inches as your area for the surface area of this net. Now, how do we find volume of a rectangular prism? Well, that one's pretty easy. We're just going to go to a formula for this one. And if you take your length, you multiply it by your width, and then you multiply it by your height, you'll find your volume. When it comes to things like MCAS exams, you will be provided with a worksheet for this. I do not expect you to memorize the volume formulas for anything more than a cube. Now let's talk about some three-dimensional shapes that are going to have different sides. Something like a triangular prism would have different sides depending on what side you're looking at. So I've again shaded these in differently, and I'm going to try to match the colors of the sides that are the same. So again, if I take this and I turn it into a net or flatten it out, I get a much easier shape to deal with. I don't have to think about sides I can't see. I can see all the sides and I can match them up, and in certain cases I can realize that one shape is very similar to another shape and therefore may have the same area. First, I'm going to take it and apply it to the triangle. The triangle has an area of 1/2 times base times height. Well, in this case, the base is 12 and the height is 9. So I have 1/2 times 12 times 9. This gives me an area of 54 feet. Now, because I have two triangles, I can double that or multiply it by 2 to get the total area of both triangles in this net, which would be 108 feet. Okay, now that we've gotten the area of the two triangles, we need to find the area of the three rectangles that make up this net. Like I said, we've been given the hypotenuse of 10.8, and if 10.8 is the hypotenuse, it's also the height of the blue rectangle. The length of the blue rectangle is 14 feet. Therefore, the area for a rectangle, as we know, is base times height. Or, in this case, the area for this rectangle is 14, the length, times 10.8, the height. This gives us a total of 151.2 feet. Now again, because there are two rectangles, we can take this total and we can multiply it by 2. This gives us a total of 302.4 feet. Okay, so now we've found the two triangles, we've found the two blue rectangles, and all that's left is the one yellow rectangle. In order to find the area of the one yellow rectangle, again, we just need to find the base times the height in order to solve for the area of that shape. The height is going to be 12 and the base is going to be 14. So if I do 12 times 14, I'm going to get 168 feet. Now I have the area of my two triangles, I have the area of my two rectangles that are blue, and my area of my one yellow rectangle. In order to find the total surface area of the shape, I have to add these three together. So I have 108 plus 302.4 plus 168 feet. So that comes to a total of 578.4 feet. Okay, now we're going to talk about how to find surface area of conical and cylinder shapes. I'm just kidding.